Hi, I want to answer the query from Shaik Sonu from India. He said that he have a Danish girlfriend and he's asking if it's possible for him to move to Denmark. But as I could see here, he said that his girlfriend is under social benefit. There's a rule in Denmark that if the Danish is under social benefit or asking for content help or help, financial help from the government, then they could not apply for their spouse to live here in Denmark because when you are married to a Dane and you want to live in Denmark, they need to be able to financially support you because when you move here in Denmark, you're expected to not have a work immediately and learn the language because it's a new language and it's a new country, new environment that you have to adjust to. And in Denmark, it is not cheap to live. That's why the government are like wants that the Danes who wants to have their spouse live or move to Denmark, they need to have the capacity to provide for their spouse. So, with your question, it is going to be difficult, but of course, you could still go here for a visit. I think you could still go for a vacation here, but moving here is not going to be that easy. If you want to know more about the rules in Denmark, about applying for visa, family reunification is that's when a spouse or married to Dane wants to move to Denmark. So this is the website, newidenmark.dk, and then you could just click English and then you could read it in English. I'm going to tell you some of the requirements for applying for family reunification as a spouse. The requirements that you both need to meet are your marriage needs to be legally valid or you need to be cohabitating partners. Cohabitating partners is different. It's like live-in partner, but you have to live in at least, I think, minimum of 18 months for you to be able to be registered as cohabitating partners. You need to be, second is you need to be married or in a relationship with each other voluntarily. So not with forced marriage. And you cannot be married or in a relationship just so you can get a residence permit. That's quite clear. So you cannot, it's like, I didn't read, this is the first time I've read this, but I mean, they don't want you to like, because I think in some European countries, maybe also in Denmark, I'm not sure, where like Dane will just marry you just for you to be able to stay here. But I think nowadays it's going to be difficult because they would be required to give a financial security for their spouse if they want their spouse to live here. And the fourth one is you need to be at least 24 years old to apply for family reunification. So you could get married from 18 and above, but you cannot stay here if you're not at least 24 years old. Or you cannot apply for family reunification if you're not 24 years old. And the next is you need to meet the integration requirement. Okay, let's see, the integration requirement is in order to qualify for a residence permit, you and your spouse normally need to fulfill an integration requirement. It says here that you and your spouse will collectively need to meet 4 out of total 6 integration related conditions, and 3 of the conditions apply to you, the applicant. and 3 applies to your spouse or partner in Denmark. So 6 integration conditions that you three of each should meet. One of the conditions applied to your spouse or partner must always be met. There is no requirement as to which 3 of the remaining 5 conditions you need to satisfy. So yeah. But anyway, there are some exemptions. Like for example, if the Danish partner or your Danish husband or spouse have a minor children before your marriage, and if that minor children is, for example, if that minor is, for example, if the Dane is supporting the minor, like if you do the financial support with the child of him or her, then you could get an exemption to some of the rules. I think as far as I know, there's like a bank guarantee that you need to pay when you apply for family when your family reunification is approved. But you could have like a discount or maybe exemption for that bank guarantee if you are supporting a minor child, your Danish partner or your Danish husband or spouse. So you both need to actively participate in the applicant's learning and integration. So you really need to learn the language. And it says here requirements for the applicants that needs to meet is you need to have visited Denmark at least once. You need to fulfill your part of the integration requirement, and you need to pass 2 tests in Danish. I think that's A1 and A2. That's why I've made some videos about Dansk Pro or Danish test A1 and A2. Those are for those moving here to Denmark together with their spouse. They need to first pass the A1, and then they need to pass the A2. So even before you move to Denmark, it is advisable that you learn the basic Danish. So once you take the test, you could pass these 2 tests. Okay? And requirement the spouse or partner in Denmark needs to meet is the Danish needs to live in Denmark in an independent residence. Means that he or she have a place of her own or a place that she or he is renting. So your resident must not be placed in area mentioned on the housing requirement list. I've heard about this. This is about the ghetto area. So it should not be in the ghetto area. We have ghetto area in Denmark also. Anyway, check that list. And the Danish needs to be self-supporting, means financially stable. So that's why those who get married, like student or no job or under financial support of the government, it's going to be difficult because they want the Danish to be financially kind of well off before they get someone in here, And you need to pass collateral in the form of financial guarantee. That's what I mentioned. This is the bank guarantee. And for now, this year, 2020, it is 104,404 Danish crowns they need to give to commune for financial guarantee. When I moved here in Denmark 2007, at that time there's a bank guarantee, but actually you don't need to pay the commune in advance with the bank guarantee. During my time, that 2007, as long as the bank make like a written certificate or paper that says to commune that yes, that Danish have this 50,000 in his account. At that time it was 50,000 when I moved here, but actually they don't ask. The commune don't ask it. They just need to like ask the bank, this Danish have this amount in his or her bank. Then if they said yes, then that's it, that's good enough. But now you need to, when you when your family reunification is approved, then you need to pay this amount. So that's the reason why the Danish have to be financially stable when applying for family reunification in Denmark. So, and another, the Danish may not be convicted of domestic violence. Last is you need to fulfill your part of the integration requirement. I've heard, actually, this is actually fact, that I've found out that the Danish, even the Danish itself, need to pass a Danish test, pro idensk 3. I took the test and in the language class, but this is one of the rules that is like, I don't understand. They are Danish. How come they need to pass this Danish test? And I'm also surprised that there are actually some who have not passed the Danish exams, even though they're Danish. But I think they just want to make it really difficult for some foreigners to move here in Denmark, because in Denmark it is actually a secure and a safe country, nice to live in. You're going to feel the you feel the security here, like you can go to a doctor anytime, you can go to the hospital. What I mean is, it's free education, you could study whatever you wanna study. It's not for free because you pay tax, but still it's good because you could just do that, and instead of paying for each course, or instead of paying for doctor each visit. So yeah, those are the requirements for family reunification. And that's your answer, Shaik Sonu. Good luck to your girlfriend, and I wish you could come here to Denmark, but it's a bit difficult. But other option for those who wants to move here, who have a Danish spouse or Danish girlfriend or boyfriend, try to search for EU rules, because that's another option. Danish rules is very strict. So good luck. Bye for now.